The roots of the Murdaugh family crime saga run deep through these coastal towns. But no one wants to talk about it. A closed sign still hung from the door of the boutique. Taped next to it was an image of the beaming Mallory Beach, who once worked here, selling and modeling chic clothing and jewelry. Alongside her photo read a quote, "Be strong in the Lord and never give up hope. He's gonna do great things." I already know a twist on a lyric by the Christian band, Sidewalk Prophets. But the message of hope rang vacant here in the window of its retail therapy, 31 months nearly to the day after Beach was killed when a boat struck a bridge piling north of Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Paris Island. She was 19 years old. Now, her death has become part of a rolling drama that has gripped South Carolina's Lowcountry. Murder, drug addiction, and alleged financial crimes surrounding the influential Alex Murdaugh, whose family is part of a local legal dynasty stretching back to the early 1900s. Since Murdaugh's wife, Maggie, and son, Paul, were found fatally shot in June on the family's Culleton County hunting estate, the surname has earned national notoriety. Yet for the deluge of details spilling into headlines, so little is known about the others whose deaths in recent years almost always are mentioned with a reference to their Murdaugh connections: Gloria Harriet Satterfield, Stephen Nicholas Smith, and Mallory Madison Beach.
"Can I help you?" she asked, glaring. It was awkward, not how we'd planned it. I removed my sunglasses and explained we didn't care about lawsuits or criminal allegations. We wanted to tell Beach's story. Might she help us? Beyond the photo in the window, the woman, I soon realized, was Morgan Doughty, a friend of Beach's who had been with her the night the boat crashed. Doughty had been dating the now-deceased Paul Murdaugh at the time and suffered a nasty hand injury that chilly 2019 night when the vessel crashed, throwing Beach and 2 other passengers into Archer's Creek. Her dear friend's body wasn't found for a week, in a marsh near the Broad River, about 5 miles away. "Y'all can't be doing this," Doughty snapped at us. "Leave, or she'd call the police," she threatened as we stood on the public sidewalk, the law on our side, if not karma. We weren't welcome. "Our mere presence as journalists was traumatizing," she said, "not just for her, but for Miley Altman, who also worked at the store and had been on the boat that night." Doughty stormed back inside, taking the closed sign with her. Dogs were hushed, but no one opened the door along with Beach. I wanted to know more about Satterfield, the longtime Murdaugh housekeeper whose family filed a $500,000 wrongful death claim against Alex Murdaugh after she died following what her estate's attorney termed a trip and fall accident at their home. And what about Smith, whose 2015 death on a lonely Hampton County road was ruled a hit-and-run over his mother's protestations? His death investigation was reopened this summer, following the killings of Maggie and Paul Murdaugh. Parents, children, siblings, lawyers, friends, and pastors didn't answer phones or doors. Strangers politely declined to speak or outright kept walking. A gas station attendant claimed he had just moved to the area. A pair of barbers said they weren't from around Hampton. A man in a home near Crocketville, a short walk from a blue wooden memorial to Smith, ordered his dogs to shut up but wasn't compelled to open his door. Local reporters who know the story best were in no mood to bring outsiders up to speed. In their silence weighed the longtime sway of a towering, ruddy man whose family controlled prosecutions across 5 counties for almost 9 decades, Alex Murdaugh. Until recently, he was a partner at one of the state's top law firms. Its brick offices stand like a fortress amid the old-timey downtown of Hampton, many of whose storefronts, including the local newspaper office, are shuttered or empty. "I think people are just kind of tired," said a Beaufort native and acquaintance of Alex Murdaugh's who asked to remain anonymous. "New stuff comes out, and it just gets crazier and crazier. I think people are desensitized to it." "I know, I am." Authorities later alleged Murdaugh, now stripped of his law license, conspired with his former client, Curtis Edward Smith, provided him a gun and instructed Smith to kill him so his other son, Buster Murdaugh, could collect about $10 million in an insurance settlement. Alex Murdaugh now faces insurance fraud and other charges and remains in rehab on $20,000 bail. Smith also faces charges and is out on bail. New Murdaugh updates sent the pizza joint a Twitter at a local pool hall that night. People scrolled through their phones for the latest details on Smith's arrest. A gentleman who declined to share his name agreed to call and text Eddie, promising to tell him I was an all-right fellow. Eddie apparently was not convinced. The next day at a pizza joint in Beaufort, phones dinged and buzzed with the latest Murdaugh updates. A bartender and waitress perused the waitress phone, playfully arguing over whether to trust conspiracy sites or the hard reporting from journalists that fits news and the state newspaper. The pace and shock value of the stories is exhausting. After a couple of days, it became clear why folks here are reticent. It's a damned wonder they can keep up. Before touching down in the Low Country, it was clear from social media residents were fatigued from the constant press inquiries. Perhaps, I thought, they'd talk with a reporter working to amplify the legacies of those lost. Nope. Fatigue is fatigue, and to be fair, many in the international media have not exhibited the best decorum. One writer penned a humor column about the deaths. Another mocked the depressed economic conditions in Varnville, a town where half the households pull in less than $35,000 a year. The word hillbilly has been tossed around as a standard adjective rather than a childish pejorative. This is not counting the nonsense on Facebook. Yet the story doesn't require embellishment. No one doubts a movie will be produced, though many struggle to conceive how the sprawling tale could fit into a tidy 2 or 3 hours. Everyone seemed to have heard the same rumors. Paul Murdaugh was Alex's youngest child. In June, Alex Murdaugh found his wife, Maggie, and 22-year-old son fatally shot near the kennels on the family estate in Island Ton. Alex Murdaugh's acquaintance in Beaufort said the killings left the community stunned. He had only nice memories of Alex and Maggie. The one-time Law Lion's wife, 52, was sweet as can be, he said, and Alex always reminded him of Andy Griffith, the way he was so polite and made people feel at ease. He was always up for doing the right thing, he said. That's something you would have never guessed now.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.